Welcome back to Mike's Man Cave and welcome back to another how-to video. Today I'm going to show you how to change the water pump on a H3 Hummer 4-wheel drive. Now, I wasn't even going to make this video because it takes a lot longer to do a job when you have to film a video on how to do the job. It would probably take me half the time, or probably even a third of the time, to just go in and change the water pump and not film any of it. But I had a look on YouTube and I could not really find any good videos. I actually seen some very bad videos on how to change a Hummer H3 water pump. There's one video where the water pump is there 1 minute, then it's gone, and then there's a new one. No explanation how it gets there or what happened to it. So, okay. Now, the first thing that we're going to quickly discuss before we get started is the tools you're going to need. Unfortunately for this job, you're going to need some specialised tools that you're going to have to buy if you don't already have them. I've had to buy one tool to do this job that I didn't already have. So let's go over the tools that we need and I'll show you what's required. It's actually not that bad. Now, consider most mechanics will charge anywhere from $750 to $1,000 to do the job for you, including all parts and labour. The water pump here cost me $98, so that leaves a lot of space for labour. And realistically, if you're a little bit mechanically minded, you can do this job at home by yourself in about 2 or 3 hours. If you've never changed a water pump before, leave yourself a day. And I had to buy one of these. It's a viscous fan hub spanner, 36mm. You're going to need one of these. I have already made a video explaining how to use this and also why you can't just use a spanner or shifter or anything else. And I'll put that video down below for you to have a look at. The water pump that you need for your H3 Hummer, the part number is GWP8074, and I've gone for the Gates water pump because they are known to be a good quality of water pump. The other tools you're going to need is a 10mm spanner and a 13mm spanner. Now, you can use just an ordinary spanner, but I like using the ratchet ones because it just makes it a little bit easier to work in tight spaces. So you're going to need a 10mm and a 13mm. Or you might be able to get away using a small socket, like a 10 and a 13mm socket, and a small handle and possibly an extension bar. But these are perfect for the job, and that's what I'll be using. Another thing that's useful is some sort of persuader. I use one of these King Chrome dead blow hammers. They're great and they get the job done, and you'll see me using that when I do the job. And this is the final thing you're going to need. It's a serpentine belt tool kit. Now, I've got this particular one, which is a T&E Tools. This one here is really good. I've had this for a little while. It works on pretty much all the cars that I've got. I've used this on my van when I changed the timing belt and the water pump on that. I've also used this to change the serpentine belt on my EL Falcon, and I've also used this to change the serpentine belt on the H3 Hummer. And this is what it looks like inside. It's got various handles, sockets, adapters, even little things like that that will come in handy for a lot of different cars. Okay, this is not a kit for just one car. This is a universal serpentine belt tool kit. And you will find that this will do most things. It definitely does the H3 Hummer, no problems at all. That is all the tools you're going to need, so it's not really too bad. So let's get over to the car and get stuck into it. Now here we are. This is your fan shroud, and this nut here, hopefully you can see that nut there is the one that needs to be undone. So what you do, you get your spanner and you fit it on there, and you can now see why a wider spanner might not fit. And here you can see that I've still got enough space, enough of the spanner sticking out to be able to work with it. So we hold this in place and we give this a quick sharp tap. You know, I think that's done it. It was that easy. Let's have a look. Yep, see, it's cracked. It's undone. So now you can undo your fan very carefully. Now we're looking from the top here, and this is a water pump pulley. We've still got our belt on at this stage, okay? Very important, keep your belt on. We got to crack those 4 bolts here, because otherwise if the belt is not keeping tension on this pulley, it'll make it harder to get this off, because this will want to spin. I'm using a ratchet spanner, as you can see there, and the size is 13 millimeters. Now these shouldn't be overly tight, so I'm just using the spanner, put that on there, and that's it. Go to the bottom one. I like to give them a bit of a jerk just to make it, yeah, see, if you just put pressure on, they've got a tendency to spin. And the last one there. Okay, so they're all done, and now comes the time to take off your belt. Your belt tensioner is down here, and you're going to use your belt tensioner tool to release the tensioner so you can slip the belt off, and we'll do that next. Now you might have noticed I haven't taken the shroud off at all. Now here's the tensioner toolkit that I'm using. So when you go to your kit for your H3 Hummer, you're going to need the 3/8 inch adapter, which looks like that. Now you come to your tensioner, and look, my hands aren't the smallest hands, I can still easily do it. There's a little hole there that this fits into. There you go, that's how it goes, clicks in there. Then you get your long tensioner arm that fits onto that little adapter. Okay, so you can just see that on there now, and now you can take the tension off your tensioner just like that, and we'll take the tension off the belt there. Okay, the belt's now off. I can release the tensioner. Okay, that can be out of the way. Now we can take these bolts out, and look, they come out quite easily, and here we go. Now here you can see the water pump, and it's held on by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10mm bolts. Again, I like using the ratchet spanners. You can use a normal spanner, or maybe even a socket and a small extension bar. Now I have not drained the coolant yet. I figure that will happen when the water pump comes off. I should have probably done that. If you feel more comfortable draining the coolant out first, maybe do that by taking off the bottom radiator hose. I'm just quite happy doing it this way. So your coolant's already starting to come out. I like taking the bottom ones out first, because then the whole thing will hang off the top bolt right till the end. There's your first one. There's the second one. There we go. That's your water pump out. Now here's the water pump out of the car, and it was definitely leaking. So now we've got a brand new water pump here, Gates brand, which is a pretty good quality brand. Comes with a new gasket, some instructions, and There's our brand new water pump, which looks exactly the same as the old one, so we're good to go. So let's go and put this one back in. Here we are, we're going to reinstall the water pump. I have put a little bit of sealant onto the gasket. You don't really have to do it, but I like to do it. Just a very small amount, just to make sure there's absolutely no leaks at all. So now the water pump just slips back in there. There we go. Obviously we did clean all the mounting and mating surfaces quite well beforehand. I didn't film that bit, but just make sure everything's nice and clean before you put it back together. So we've tightened up the water pump and I'm going to let that dry overnight. It's getting a bit late now, so I'm going to call it a day and I'm going to put the rest back together tomorrow. I'll see you then. It's now the next day and of course it's raining. Now I did check the forecast yesterday, it said no rain, and here we are, it's raining. As you saw a second ago, I put the water pump back in yesterday, so today we're going to put the rest of the car back together and then it's job done. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you something. Now this is the old water pump, and look, it doesn't even seem too bad. The bearing's not even noisy. I can't even hear it making a noise, and when I first sort of pulled it out I thought, you know, did I waste my time here? Because it still feels good. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. However, let's have a look at the water pump pulley, and hopefully this will show up on the camera. Have a look at that. It is full of coolant that's been building up for quite some time inside there. And there's actually coolant inside there that has sort of almost turned into a gel. So it's been slowly leaking, and the whole inside of this is covered in coolant residue. And we've also had coolant on the garage floor that I've noticed a few times, and this is why I started investigating what the problem was. So it might not be always obvious, but if you've got like a little coolant leak and you can't quite put your finger on it, have a look at that. So I'm going to clean this up before I put it back in, obviously. And let's go and put the car back together. Here we go. You can still see the mess that's in there. And all I'm using is a multi-purpose kitchen cleaner. Works really well to clean up car parts, and this costs like $1 or $2. I'm not exactly sure on the price for 750ml, but it's really cheap. And there we go, it's come up like brand new, so we can put that back in now. Now there's the water pump installed as I showed you yesterday. It's now the next day, and I have filled the radiator and engine back up with some water or coolant just to make sure there's no leaks before I put it all back together. I can't see any leaks at all, and it all looks very good. So now it's time to refit the water pump pulley, which is here. It's all been cleaned up, and you use your 12mm bolts that we took off and your 12mm spanner. I'm using a ratchet spanner because it just makes life easier. They are all done up finger tight, and obviously you're not going to be able to tighten them because this just spins easily, but I just want to put a little bit of tension on them as much as I can. Just hold that with your thumb there and just tighten it up a touch, because you want to make sure that it's located on the actual ring that the pulley locates on. And now we can put the accessory drive belt back on, but it's very important, don't forget to tighten these once the belt is back on. Okay, you must tighten these up fairly tight. Look, I can't put the belt on and film it, but it goes back on exactly in reverse of how it came off. So you just route it around, then you release your tensioner and put it on and take the tension off, and it should be fine. Okay, I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out because it's pretty dark down there. I've got the torch. You can see the belt is now back on, the accessory drive belt. It's routed all the way around where it's supposed to go. And there's your tensioner, that thing that I've got the light on. And this is a tool here, or part of the tool that I'm using to release the tensioner to be able to slip the belt on. And we're done with that now, so I can put that away. Now the final job will be to tighten up those 4 bolts on the pulley now that it's under tension, and we want those as tight as what we can get them. And then you can see the thread that the fan threads onto, and we'll thread the fan onto that and the job's done. Now that we've got our belt fitted up, we can now tighten these bolts. I just wanted to show you. There you go. And that's tight enough. Like once this starts to spin, you're done. So we'll tighten up all 4 bolts, keep going around, and just tension them up. There you go, that'll do the job. Everything's tightened up, it's time to drop the fan back in there very, very carefully so we don't cause any damage to anything. It does go in without any problems, usually. There you go. And now we're spinning it onto the water pump. So I've got the thread started now, so all I need to do is just spin that. Till the nut stops spinning. There you go. The nut's now bottomed out and stopped spinning. Now we get our spanner that we've used before. We put it on there and we just give it one sharp whack and that will do it. Okay, we'll give it a second one. And that's it, job done.